Hello and welcome back to Downtime Activities. Matthew here with another D&D 5e character build. Today we're going over the Dwarven Operahammer, a really cool, powerful combination between Warlock and Bard that'll make a melee powerhouse who has a ton of spell utility option and is really wacky and weird and fun as this opera-singing frontline Dwarven character. So let's break it down and check out the build. The Dwarven Operahammer build is going to combine a lot of very weird and cool abilities from both the Dwarf race, the Bard and Warlock class, as well as some interactions between them to make a character that is super powerful, super flavorful, and also kind of wacky and fun. To start with, we're going to be choosing Hill Dwarf as our race. This is going to give us a couple different abilities. It'll be 60 feet of dark vision, our Dwarven Resilience, which is some poison resistances, Dwarven Combat Training for some extra weapon proficiencies. We'll get tool proficiency in either Smith's, Brewer's, or Mason's tools. Their Stone Cunning ability, and because we're a Hill Dwarf, Dwarven Toughness for plus 1 HP per level. The other often missed but key piece of this build that the Hill Dwarf is going to give us is a 25-foot movement speed that is not reduced by wearing heavy armor, even if you don't meet that armor's strength requirements. This will matter a lot for us, because our character is not going to be strong at all, but is going to be wearing heavy armor by the time this build is done. For our point-buy stat array, we're going to go with an 8 in strength, a 10 in dex, a 14 in con, a 10 in intelligence, a 14 in wisdom, and a 15 in charisma. Redistributing our bonuses from the Hill Dwarf as we see fit because of the rule changes, we're going to be using a plus 2 to con and a plus 1 to charisma to have both of those end up being a 16. At this point, I think you might be asking the question, I thought this was a frontline combatant character. How do they have a strength of 8 and a dex of 10 if they're going to use weapons? And we will get into that in just a moment, but just understand that one of the really powerful parts of this class is we can kind of disregard our strength and dex, and because of our Warlock specialty, we're still going to be an absolute powerhouse melee combatant. From here, we'll pick a background, do whatever you want. I would probably go with Entertainer or Soldier, as those would make the most sense for the kind of backstory I would run with this character, but just make it fit with whatever story you're trying to tell. For our first level, we're going to be taking our level 1 in Warlock. This will give us light armor proficiency, simple weapon proficiency, wisdom and charisma save proficiency, and proficiency in a couple of skills of our choice. Do what you like. Charisma and wisdom skills are probably best, but whatever fits your character. We'll also get spellcasting, and for our patron, I chose the Hexblade, and this is one of the key pieces of this build. The Hexblade from Xanathar's Guide will give us a couple of really cool, powerful abilities. One will be an expanded spell list, where we have a couple more spells to choose from that the Warlock doesn't always get access to. We'll also get their Hexblade Curse, which is a bonus action that we can take once per short rest that will give us some extra damage equal to our proficiency bonus, increase our crit range, and give us some healing when we kill people. It also gives us the ever-important Hex Warrior ability. This is medium armor and shield proficiency, as well as martial weapon proficiency, and at the end of a long rest, we get to choose a non-two-handed weapon and get to use our charisma for attack and damage rolls with that weapon. This is how we're going to be able to have a melee combatant character who doesn't need to have strength or dex be high in order to be effective with their weapons. From here, all we have left is our first level spell choices. I'm going to kind of break down what I chose for most of these level ups on spells, but there's a lot of options here. If there's a super important spell, I'll let you know that it's one you should definitely take, but apart from that, go with what you like. For the cantrips, I chose Eldritch Blast as one because it's just a super powerful and efficient range damage option. And for the second cantrip, I said just take whatever you want. There are so many good options here. Do something fun, flavorful, interesting, one that just makes sense for your character, whatever you like. We get one first level spell slot as a first level Warlock and 2 spells known. I went with Shield from the expanded spell list that we get as a Hexblade, and Hex because they just made sense for a combat character. For level 2, I took my first level in Bard, and this multicast gave us 1 skill and 1 instrument proficiency. Same thing here, 2 skills that make sense for your character. For an instrument, I think that the way I run this character will be as a proud and boisterous opera singer, so his instrument will of course be his golden pipes, all natural, given to him from the stone and Moradin himself. But maybe bagpipes or something to go along with it? I don't know. We'll also get the Bard spellcasting and the Bard ritual casting. We also get our Bardic Inspiration, which is a bonus action that lets us divvy out dice to people to give them bonuses on rolls. You also get 2 cantrips here. Go with whatever you want. I suggest Vicious Mockery because coming up with like fun dwarven insults is a really good time. So that'd be my suggestion, but whatever Bard cantrip suits your fancy, grab it. We'll also get 2 first level spell slots that we get back after a long rest, and 4 spells known. It's not super important what you take, but I suggest taking bonus action, reaction, and utility spells primarily from your Bard list. You're going to be doing a lot of attacking with weapons, so action spells aren't as useful for you. I chose Healing Word, Comprehend Languages, Detect Magic, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter as my 4 spells here. At level 3, we're going to get our second level of Bard, getting the Jack of all trades, so half proficiency on all of our skill checks that we're not already proficient in. We also get the Song of Rest for some additional out-of-combat healing, 3 first level spell slots now, and 1 more spell known. I took Featherfall because having an Oh No button is always a good thing. Level 4 is going to be our 3rd level of Bard. This is where we get our specialization, our college, and for that we're doing the College of Swords from Xanathar's Guide. It gives us the irrelevant proficiencies of medium armor and scimitars, seeing how we already have medium armor and all martial weapons, and it also lets us use weapons as our spellcasting focus, which is super good. We get a fighting style here, and I went with dueling for that additional +2 damage. We also get the College of Swords Blade Flourish, which allows us to use our inspiration die for one of 3 options when we make a hit with an attack roll. One is the Defensive Flourish, which is going to be our go-to ability with this character, giving us bonus damage and AC equal to the inspiration die roll. Another is the Slashing Flourish, which is really good if there's multiple enemies, but it's not going to be used very often. It's pretty situational. It'll deal bonus damage to the target and one other creature within 5 feet of you that's equal to that inspiration die roll. And the last flourish, Mobile Flourish, which is situational but powerful with environmental effects such as traps or cliff edges. Bonus damage equal to the inspiration die roll and a push on the target 5 feet plus a number of feet equal to that inspiration die roll. You can then use your reaction to close the distance. Expertise also comes in here. Do whatever skills you want. I went with Persuasion and Performance because I wanted my character to get to really be a face of the party and to nail those opera solos. We're at 4 first level spell slots now and 2 second level spell slots and 1 more spell known. I went with Mirror Image to make myself even more of a frontline, hard to hit tank for the party. Level 5 is going to be our 4th level of Bard. Here you get an ability score improvement, and I took the Heavily Armored feat, and this is kind of one of the last pieces of our real build here. This will give us heavy armor proficiency, allowing us to wear full plate whenever we can afford it. This means that our Bard Warlock combo is going to still have a 8 in strength and a 10 in dex, but have a massive AC with a shield and that full plate protection. Combined with regularly using that defensive flourish, we're going to be really, really hard to hit. You combine some other defensive spells like Mirror Image and Shield, and our damage dealing, spell slinging, opera singing dwarf is going to be a tank as well. We also get another cantrip here. Take whatever you want. We're at 4 first level spell slots now, 3 second level spell slots, and another spell known. I took Misty Step because it's always helpful. Proficiency bonus also goes up to +3 here. Level 6, and we're going to be taking our 5th level of Bard. Bardic Inspiration goes up to a D8 here for even more bonuses with our flourishes. And we get our Font of Inspiration to regain all inspiration dice during short rest instead of long rest. We're at 4 first level spell slots now, 3 second level slots, and 2 third. 1 more spell known. I chose Mass Healing Word. Level 7, and we're going to take our 6th level of Bard. Counter Charm here helps us and our allies fight against the frightened and charmed conditions, and we get our extra attack from the College of Swords, making us on par with what the fighters and other martial classes got a couple levels ago. But now we're dealing out even more melee damage. 4 first level spell slots, 3 second and 3 third now, and 1 more spell known. I went with Dispel Magic. Always a good thing to have in the back pocket. 8th level, and we're going to be taking our 2nd level of Warlock finally, coming back around to the Warlock. We're going to get our Eldritch Invocations here. We'll have 2 known. Take whatever you want. I went with Agonizing Blast and Grasp of Hadar, so I can really do the get over here stuff with my Eldritch Blast, bringing people into melee range. Our slot level will still be 1, but we get 2 spell slots now from our Warlock class, and those spell slots always come back at a short rest. We get a spell known here. I took Hellish Rebuke as a good reaction, powerful, defensive spell that if people make it through our massive AC, we punish them for it. Level 9, and we're going to take our 3rd level of Warlock and get our Pact Boon. I went with Pact of the Blade here, because it gives us an additional weapon that we can use our Charisma for attack and damage rolls with. It also sets us up to take a future invocation that I think is really powerful and helpful. Our spell slot level goes up to 2 now for our Warlock slots, and we'll still get the 2 slots back after a short rest. One more spell known. I took Invisibility here for some out-of-combat utility. Proficiency bonus is now +4. Level 10, and we're taking our 4th level of Warlock. Our ability score improvement here, I put into Charisma for a +2, because this will both improve our spell casting as well as our damage output with our melee weapons. We get another cantrip here, take whatever you want. Slot level is still 2. We have 2 spell slots still, back after a short rest, and 1 more spell known. I took Hold Person. Level 11, we're taking our 5th level in Warlock, and we're getting another invocation. I took Eldritch Smite, so that we can start spending those Warlock spell slots for even more melee damage. Our spell slot level goes up to 3 now, and we get 2 spell slots back still after a short rest. 1 more spell known, I took Spirit Shroud, another powerful defensive AoE that's going to be swirling around you and making you even more of a terror on the front lines. Level 12, and we're going back to Bard, level 7 of Bard. 4 first level spell slots, 3 second, 3 third, and 1 fourth now. A new spell known, I took Polymorph. Level 13, and our 8th level of Bard. Another ability score improvement. I took another +2 in Charisma, capping us out at 20. We now have 4 first, 3 second, 3 third, and 2 4th level slots. Another spell known, I took Dimension Door. Proficiency bonus goes up to +5. Level 14, our 9th level of Bard. Our Song of Rest goes up a die type to a D8. We now have 4 first, 3 second, 3 third, 3 fourth, and our first 5th level spell slot. We get 1 more spell known here. I took Raise Dead. Level 15, 10th level of Bard. Bardic Inspiration die goes up to a D10. Expertise, whatever you want here. I went with Perception and Intimidation. Another cantrip, take whatever you like. We now have 4 first, 3 second, 3 third, 3 fourth, and 2 5th level spell slots. We also get Magical Secrets here, where we get 2 spells known, and we're able to take spells from other lists. I took Counterspell as another powerful reaction option, and Wall of Force because I just think it's a super powerful spell in general that's really cool for a Bard to have. Level 16, we're going to get our 11th level in Bard. We now have 4 first, 3 second, 3 third, 3 fourth, 2 fifth, and 1 6th level spell slot, and we get another spell known. I went with Otto's Irresistible Dance, one of my all-time favorites. Level 17, and we're taking our 12th level of Bard. We get another ability score improvement here. +2 Con is what I went with. You could take a feat if there's one you like, but I wanted to just get some more hit points, make myself a little more survivable. Our spell slots are now 4 first, 3 second, 3 third, 3 fourth, 2 fifth, and our first 6th level slot. We do not get a new spell known at this level, however. Our proficiency bonus goes up to +6. Level 18 is our 13th level of Bard, and the Song of Rest die goes up to a D10 now. We will have 4 first, 3 second, 3 third, 3 fourth, 2 fifth, a 6th, and our first powerful 7th level spell slot. I went with the spell Teleport. Level 19 and our 14th level in Bard, we get our next college feature, the Master's Flourish from the College of Swords. We can now use a free D6 in place of the Inspiration die for our flourishes. This is really powerful if you make it to this level, as that means we're going to be doing that defensive flourish almost every single turn and getting that D6 bonus to our AC. Or bigger if you're using the bigger die type from your increased Inspiration die. Our spell slots are still 4 first, 3 second, 3 third, 3 fourth, 2 fifth, a 6th, and a 7th. And we get our next Magical Secrets here as well for +2 spells known from any spell list. I wanted to get big, powerful spells that bards normally wouldn't have, so I went with Disintegrate for a super powerful offensive option, and Simulacrum because I like to make snowmen of myself, I guess. Level 20, and our 15th level of Bard. Our Bardic Inspiration die is now a D12. We have 4 first, 3 second, 3 third, 3 fourth, 2 fifth, a 6th, a 7th, and now an 8th level spell slot. I chose Feeble Mind here because it can absolutely ruin somebody if they fail their save against it, and it's a fun one to have in the back pocket. And that's the level 1 to 20 breakdown of the Dwarven Operahammer. At the end of the day, this build is one that combines abilities in a way that makes your character really good at a lot of different tasks and roles that a party can need. You'll be a high charisma character who's able to talk their way in and out of situations, that's going to be able to rally their friends behind them, while still being a super powerful tanky frontline fighter with a massive AC, massive damage output, and access to a near full spell progression between Bard and Warlock. The Dwarven Operahammer build is really powerful, really fun, really cool, really unique, and really wacky and different. It allows for some really fun role-playing moments as a kind of goofy character, while still leaving your character a powerhouse on the battlefield and a helpful character in and out of combat for the rest of your team. And that has been the Dwarven Operahammer build. I hope you guys have found that interesting, cool. It's something that you guys will hopefully go out and try in your game, some version of it. If you do, go down to the comments and let us know how it goes. I must also say I cannot be personally held responsible for any player versus player that breaks out because you guys do your best Dwarven Opera impersonations, but that's your own prerogative if you want to do that. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did, and if you want to see more of these 5e character builds, I'm always coming up with 1,000 characters and never have enough games to play them in, so I'd be happy to throw more up here. Just leave a comment saying you want more, or just show this video lots of love and I will. Now go forth, slay dragons, sling spells, roll dice, and enjoy your downtime activities.